The drive is basically to educate the younger generation, because we have seen in this country that we have very serious challenges about corruption. And most time when you have this conversation, they will tell you one of the problems I have in this country is corruption, corruption, corruption. And you begin to ask yourself, so what is the solution? We have had generations over time, ranging from 1960 down the line, from the time of independence. We have always passed the ball to the leaders, that they are the reason why we are having the issues of corruption in this country. And when you look at it, you ask yourself, why is it that subsequent administration in this country had continued to even go deeper into corrupt practices and corrupt actions in this country? So the idea behind this advocacy is to institutionalize anti-corruption subjects, so that this subject will be taught from the primary 6 down through all the secondary schools, from JSS1 to SS1, down to from JSS1 to SS3, from SS1 senior secondary school down to senior secondary school in the finance. Of course, we'll also be introducing that to the university, so that all through your time in the university, you would begin to be re-echoed about this anti-corruption issue. And that will automatically sink more into the psyche of every young Nigerians. So by so doing, we have been able to, people will begin to understand what corruption is all about. Knowing that corruption is not only when you give bribe and take bribe. Corruption automatically take effect from the time you begin to violate the rights of others. From the time you begin to abuse the powers given to you by the authority or by the law. Absolutely, because the idea is that when you continue to, imagine having the younger ones from junior secondary having a subject called anti-corruption course. And this subject is meant to be compulsory for them to take. And of course, this course should be developed to cover all aspects of corruption and how corruption has held us back as a people, as a nation, as a continent. So when you begin to have these young ones who are now being taught about corruption and corrupt activities and what constitutes the word corruption and how it has affected the development of our nation, they will begin to be conscious. They will know that when they carry out any activities, even in their young age, that this amount to corruption, they begin to hate corruption, so that when they grow to a level where they will now be saddled with the responsibility of managing resources, either at a private level or at a public level, they will now understand what corruption is. They will now know that if you involve in corrupt activities, automatically you are destroying the system, you are destroying a generation, and you are destroying a nation. Now, it's of two streams. We have advocated for first policy change. The policy change would automatically include the anti-corruption subjects in the various secondary school. And beyond the secondary school, you have them in the university and other higher institution. Why we suggested and we make recommendation that they should begin from the secondary school is because if you look at the level of leadership cadre, the qualification that guarantees anyone to aspire or to contest in various positions basically commence from senior secondary school certificate. So before you can get to that level where you can contest, you should have been able to pass through this level. And when we talk about these two streams, like I mentioned earlier, you have this policy change which has to be effected by the government to accommodate the anti-corruption subjects. Then you also have the other angle which we are carrying out here, which is the advocacy angle. And the advocacy angle we are doing while waiting for the policy change involves that we'll be going to various institutions of learning and other areas where youths are gathered to lecture them on the issues of anti-corruption and all the attendance effects that corruption has brought upon our country, Nigeria. Well, you can always prepare for the best. You hope for the best at all time, no matter the challenges, no matter the circumstances. It is about the political will on the part of the government to do what is right. Okay, so for me, I am expecting that the government should listen, particularly if they care about the system. If they care about the system change, the government should join in this call. The government should join in this advocacy and see how we can promote a culture that is free of corruption. Very well. The roles that the government should play and the teachers as well and the institutions should play, one which includes social orientation on their part. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, is a comprehensive, it must be developed, is a curriculum that should be developed. And some of these curriculum, we have found them in different aspects, but we are available to assist in developing this curriculum. But essentially, the various schools, the teachers, the institutions have a role to play, particularly in the area of social orientation and trying to address this issue of ill menace affecting us as a people as being caused by corruption. Very fine, and it depends on the curriculum. The most important thing is to bring the knowledge down to the young ones. And like they said, train up a child in the way that he should grow. And when he grow, he will not depart from it. So the first thing is to teach. The other thing is to follow up and teach with sincerity, imbibe this culture, imbibe this learning, imbibe this attitudinal change, imbibe this social orientation on the younger ones so that they will see that this is very necessary for them to follow the new line. One way the civil society can support initiative is through partnership. We already set up agenda on moving from one secondary school to another in this country. We are already canvassing, and civil society should, of course, emulate what we are doing. I know many of them are doing so much in sensitization and the area of anti-corruption, activism, and all of those things. They should begin to drive this agenda for a corrupt-free society.